You ever think about the last great game you watched? I mean, the roar of the crowd, the tension on the field, everything just works. From the opening ceremony to that final whistle. Well, that doesn't just happen by accident. It's all thanks to a seriously detailed game plan. And in this explainer, we're going to crack open that exact playbook.
And you know what's wild? It doesn't matter if it's a global event with billions watching or just a local kickball game for bragging rights. The secret to success is exactly the same. So what is that secret sauce? What makes an event truly unforgettable? Let's get into it. At the heart of it all is something called sports event management. And really, it's just what it sounds like. The art and science of planning, organizing, and pulling off every single detail of a sports event. The scale can be huge or tiny, but that core job of planning and running the show, it's always there. Okay, so this whole playbook is built on 5 key ideas. Think of these as the pillars of your whole strategy. You've got planning, which is basically figuring out your goals. Then organizing, where you line up all your resources. Staffing, which is, you guessed it, getting the right people on board. Then directing, which is leading that team. And finally, controlling, making sure everything actually stays on track. You get these 5 right, and you're already on your way to a win. A brilliant plan is, well, just an idea on paper without the right people, right? This brings us to one of the most important parts of the whole process, staffing. It's time to build that all-star team that's going to make this thing happen. So here's how it's all structured. You have the administrative director up top, sure, but the real nerve center, the command center, is the organizing committee. This is the group that runs the entire operation, and they do it by delegating tasks to a bunch of smaller, specialized teams. Each one has a super important job to do. First up, let's talk about the hype builders, the publicity committee. Their whole mission is to get people excited. They're the ones crafting the social media buzz, plastering posters around town, and making sure everyone knows when and where it's all going down. They build the anticipation. Next, you've got the unsung heroes who turn an empty field into an actual arena, the grounds and equipment committee. I mean, these are the folks who are out there meticulously marking the lines, setting up all the gear, and making sure everything from the turf underfoot to the scoreboard overhead is absolutely perfect for game time. Now, when you've got intense competition, injuries can happen. It's just a fact. That's why the first aid committee is so incredibly important. There's always a qualified doctor in charge, and the whole team is on standby, ready to jump in and provide expert medical care at a moment's notice. Their presence means athletes can give it their all, knowing they're in safe hands. And behind every single great sporting event, there's a rock-solid financial plan. That's where the finance committee comes in. These are the guardians of the budget, making sure every single penny is accounted for. From ticket sales to paying the refs, they make sure the event isn't just a blast, but also financially sound. Honestly, without them, none of this would be possible. All right, the team is assembled. Now we get into what might be the most critical phase of all, the pre-game prep. This is where the magic really happens, long before any fans even think about showing up. This is where you win or lose. And this checklist, it's way more than just a list. It's the blueprint. You're not just creating a budget. You're out there getting sponsors and figuring out how much money will come in. You're getting the venues ready, buying or renting every last piece of equipment, and, this is huge, handling all the communication with the teams. Every single one of these boxes has to be ticked, no exceptions. So after all that planning, all that preparation, it's finally game day. This is the moment of truth. This is when the plan gets put into action and all that hard work gets put to the test. It is showtime. On game day, it's all about directing and controlling. Every single committee kicks into high gear. This means making sure that opening ceremony goes off without a hitch, constantly checking that the field and gear are still perfect, and keeping the whole tournament running like a finely tuned clock. It's all about solving problems in real time, whether that's getting first aid to an athlete or just keeping everyone in line. So the final whistle blows, the crowd is cheering, the champions are celebrating, but believe it or not, the work isn't done. The wrap-up phase is what seals the deal and makes sure your event is remembered as a professional success. A truly great event has to stick the landing. The wrap-up means celebrating the winners with a proper awards ceremony and getting those results out to the media right away. But behind the scenes, it's also about making sure all the officials and vendors get paid, keeping those good relationships going. And then you've got to prep all the financial reports and archive everything for next time. It's about closing every single loop. Okay, so we've walked through the entire playbook, the how of running a perfect event.
But that brings up a much bigger question. Why? Why do we do all this? Because when you look past the logistics and the scoreboards, you realize these events are about so much more. Now, especially at the school and community level, you'll see two main flavors of tournaments. First, you've got intramurals. That comes from Latin for within the walls. So it's competitions inside one school. Then you have extramurals, or outside the walls. And that's when you get those awesome inter-school rivalries, with different schools facing off. And here's why that matters. For both types of events, the goal is so much bigger than just winning. These competitions are amazing for personal growth. They teach sportsmanship, they build leaders, and they create this incredible sense of teamwork and camaraderie. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? The main purpose of community sports is to build stronger, healthier, happier, and safer communities. It's such a powerful reminder that the real trophy isn't the one you hold up at the end. It's the positive impact you have on people. That's the real win. So there you have it, the whole playbook. It's a roadmap that can take any idea and turn it into an amazing event that brings people together and actually makes a difference. The plan is all here. The steps are laid out. So the only real question left is, what event are you going to bring to life?